Poet John Holgerson reads his original work at America's Hometown Laureates Tiny Poetry event at the Mayflower Society House.
John Holgerson.
Good evening. My thanks to Jennifer Harris, as always, the Mayflower Society, and the other sponsors. Whenever a poet has the opportunity to read his or her works, it's always greatly appreciated. The first poem I have is Tonka Triptych. A triptych are 3 poems that have something in common. In this case, it's a theme. Each of these Tonkas was written at a different point in time in my life, but I put them all together as one poem when my 3rd book of poetry, Convictions of the Heart, had been accepted for publication. So the editor suggested I put them all together as one, and I did. Tonka Triptych. The absence of you, a shawl across my shoulders, drawn tighter by the stillness of trees, the silence of birds. Watching the moon float amid cruising charcoal clouds, an ashen buoy on an onyx ocean, I thought of you tonight. The old dog lies down, headstone shade blankets him. He waits as before, head on the ground, dreaming in smell of earth, scent of home. This next poem is just a short 9-line poem. Cross Currents for Izzy M.G. For a few hours, in time's random rhythm, our currents crossed, so we would share a memory found and then lost when the swifter current pulled away politely at the delta of age. I do have a haiku. The city of Newton runs a contest, or has run a contest for the last 5 years, called Haiku Newton. And you submit a haiku. If it's one of the ones that's selected, your haiku gets placed on a large yard sign that's placed somewhere on public property owned by the city of Newton, and it sits there so passersby can read it. The theme of Haiku Newton this year was renewal or generation. Renewal or regeneration. They had over 250 submissions. I'm pleased to say that mine was one of the 30 that was accepted. So I'll probably be on some yard sign. I'm just hoping it's not outside the landfill or the wastewater treatment plant. The snake sheds its skin, caterpillar, its cocoon, me, my inner fear. The last poem I want to read is one that I wrote within the last 2 months. If I'd written it a year ago, it would be considered a dystopian poem and probably an Orwellian perspective of some future society. But because I wrote it within the last 2 months, it's really just a report on current events. And I'm reading it tonight for the best reason one can ever have. My wife asked me to. It's called If Your Neighbor Disappears, after the poem Warning by Leonard Cohen. If your neighbor disappears, oh, if your neighbor disappears, the Hispanic man from Venezuela who helped you paint your house, the young woman who babysat your children dressed proudly in that rainbow-colored blouse. If your neighbor disappears, oh, if your neighbor disappears, don't ask what happened to the Palestinian youth who lives on your block, or to the multi-tattooed black man with whom you like to talk. Watch out for the men wearing balaclavas who cruise our streets each day. They have a plan you can't ignore. or there'll come a tapping, rapping, pounding on your door when your neighbors disappear. When your neighbors disappear. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
If you enjoyed this video by The Local Scene, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching.